In this episode, we monkey around. Monkey bears! Monkey bears! Monkey bears! You're in the playhouse. Welcome to the playhouse. I'm Uncle Paul, and it's time for our very special hellos. Hello to Wink55, also known as Maverick, Bob and his dogs, Einstein, Ruby, and Queenie. And by the way, hello to Finley as well. Steve Alexander, John's Vinyl Records Plus, Buddy the dog, and that's from Beetle Brad, Sonny Pleasantone, Mike Malik, Mikey Arugula, Matthew Street, Nicole, the Sticker Mania family, Dave Sundstrom, Jerome Luby, Kid O'Toole, Beetle Dave, Joe Mayo, and Gracie and Rosie. Now, if you'd like a special hello, or you'd like to dedicate a special hello, please leave it in the comments below, and we'll say hello in a future episode. And that's our very special hellos for today. Well, it's time for Object, Presentation, Artifact, Showcase. Well, today we have something that we've been long talking about here in the Playhouse. And I know a lot of Playhouse members have been waiting for our monkey episode. And it's time for the Monkees. Now, we're going to centralize here, just as like we did on our previous Yellow Submarine episode, even though there's a lot of monkey collectible items that are being issued right up until this very day. We're just going to showcase the ones that came out originally while the Monkees series was running between 66 and 68. So we're going to start. What do we always start with, Playhouse members? The lunchbox. So now this is the official Monkees lunchbox, which was made by the Thermos Company. Now, they didn't have a metal lunchbox for the Monkees. Sometimes maybe they were still thought of a kid item, or maybe, because again, days were different in those times, that perhaps they thought that a female audience would be carrying that, because sometimes a lot of the lunchbox kits, the vinyls, were geared towards the female collector going to school. So this is a very nice one, again by King Sealy Thermos Company. Very nice, groovy artwork here. And of course it's copyrighted 1967 by the Ray Burt Production Company, Screen Gems, which was the producer and owner of the Monkees TV series. And this is held up rather well because normally, as we've talked about in our lunchbox episode, the vinyls, because it's basically only made out of cardboard covered by thin vinyl. So they get a lot of what they call seam splits. But this one is held up rather well. And of course, everyone knows by now. Of course, we have the thermos. We have a special, in fact, we have a special story with this thermos. Okay? It is signed. And we're going to talk about 3 out of the 4 Monkees signed this particular thermos. And I don't have Davy's autograph, and not for the reason you think. Well, I should tell it now. So we're going to talk about how the Playhouse was able to get all 4 monkey autographs on a very special 8x10 that took a very long time. I was fortunate enough, as many Playhouse members probably have as well, to meet the Monkees or work with the Monkees many times over the years. And this is a regret I seriously have, to be honest with everyone. This was actually, I'm not trying to make this sound more glamorous than it was, okay? But I had the opportunity to see Davy Jones. I was working with him at the New Jersey State Fair. And we were going to be allowed, and we were, to go on stage and record some of Davy's solo concert that he was giving. And this was probably in the mid 1990s. And at that time, I did not have Mickey's autograph on this thermos, and I did not have Michael Nesmith's, and we're going to talk about that because many Playhouse members know how difficult it was for a while to get Michael Nesmith's autograph. So Peter Tork was the first one to sign this thermos, hence that he wrote, "For Paul, best always, Peter Tork." Now, there's just something that if you're working with someone versus a fan event, sometimes it's not, or at least in my head, but I think it's a industry standard, that you're not supposed to really get an autograph if you're working with them. Now, I brought this thermos to the New Jersey State Fair. It was in my bag. And this is a very true story, which I always found amusing to make it faster. But so we go backstage, and, you know, all the artists have a trailer. And David, Mr. Jones, opens the trailer door, and he has no shirt on, which is fine. I said, and he says, "Oh, Paul, come in." All right. And I spent a few minutes, you know, just talking professional stuff of how we were going to go on stage and record his performance. And Uncle Paul chickened out. I could not take the thermos out at that point and say to Mr. Jones there, "Oh, could you autograph my Monkee thermos?" Now, to this day, I wish I had, especially with the tragedy of losing Davy first. So maybe it was just meant to be that Davy's signature is not on this thermos. All right, but just to show you real fast, we do have a non-signed thermos as well, which would go in the Monkees lunchbox. All right, so now we have, and these never work, and we're not going to take it off its stand here. This was done by Mattel. This is a very desirable original item, and this is a finger hand puppet. And the idea was, of course, that you put your hand, because we're not going to demonstrate this fully because it's on its nice stand, and these never work anymore. So we're not even going, here we go. And, you know, these pull strings, they break. Here we go. That's always what they sound like. Now, there are professional restorers, but it's in great shape, and I just like it like this. But this is, for a Monkees collection, but basically what everything we're showing you as well, is these are like the must-haves if you have a serious Monkees collection. That's a fun item. Now, here's the Transagram company. Made a lot of board games, and this was the official Monkees board game, as seen on NBC television for 2 to 4 players. And I'm going to see if I'm going to open it up. A lot of game collectors, they love the board. People frame the playing board. It has such nice graphics. So here's the playing board. Hey, the Monkees game. These games were very basic. They were put out rather fast, but these sold a lot of games. I love those. Now, it would be a Monkees collectible episode without a puzzle. Now, this was by the Fairchild Company. The puzzle people they were. And they put out many different designs of this. This is from '67. And it says it's got an official autograph picture on back. Oh, there it is. I haven't turned it around in quite some time. Yes, some facsimile autographs. But nice puzzle that sold rather well in Monkee collector circles. All right, now we have something it's kind of fun and unique, we feel. This is the Mattel Monkees guitar from, of course, originally. And this was just a wind-up. It doesn't sound very good, and the strings are missing. And here it is. I don't know if that's supposed to be playing Hey, Hey, We're the Monkees or not. The strings are missing. And I noticed also, right here, I don't know if in the afterthought, but it was 30 cents. Someone wrote in It's here, 30 cents. Maybe the 5 and 10 just, they didn't know where else to put the price. So just with an ink pen, they wrote 30 cents. All right, now, but there's another fast, interesting story about the Mattel Monkees guitar. Now remember, the Monkees kind of exploded onto the music scene rather fast with the debut of their television series. So they just slapped this on a previous guitar. So we're going to give you a second or so, but Playhouse members, any guess as to what originally or what is underneath this decal that Mattel put on for the Monkees? Now look close, try and figure out, because it's some character that all Playhouse members are very familiar with. Tom and Jerry, it's Tomcat. This was a Tom and Jerry guitar originally. You see, here's his ears and some of his whiskers. See, once we pointed out, you could see the cat figure. And then they just created this, cut it out, because they must have had, they weren't selling enough Tom and Jerry guitars. I don't remember Tom and Jerry playing guitar very often. Maybe they did. So quick, repurpose it, as they say in the toy business, and make it a Monkees guitar. We have, these are called finger puppets, and they were manufactured by Remco. And they each came with a pair of boots. I'm going to put the 3 Monkees together. I'm going to tell you why, real fast, why there's no Peter Tork. Because this is a complete, these actually came out in 1969, I believe, when the Monkees were being replayed on the CBS television network on Saturday mornings after the primetime NBC series ended. Now, at that point, Peter Tork was the first member of the Monkees to leave. So a lot of items, because the Monkees always had waves of popularity. So here they were in a giant resurgence in 1969, having their series on Saturday morning television. But Peter was, again, no longer with the group. So they did not manufacture toys with Peter. Now, I'm just going to show you what you were supposed to do with these. But I need Miss Slenderfingers here. Maybe she'll visit sometime in the Playhouse, because my fingers are not small enough. But the idea was that you put your fingers in these open holes in the back, and then you would put his boots on as well. Once your fingers were all the way down here, hence it was a finger puppet, and you could make him walk. So again, no Peter. And the same thing on the no Peter front. I know Mikey Arugula and Frank, Mr. Stickermania, love these. That's why, real fast, and we have the other cereal box record here. Whoop, comes right off. That Peter is not pictured on the cereal box record as well, because again, he had already left the group. And you'll see even on this cereal box, Peter is not here on the free record that you would actually get on the back of your cereal box that you could cut out, like this one's cut out, and these would really play. The Playhouse keeps saying that they should bring back cereal box records. All right, real fast. Here's the official Monkees tambourine. I don't know if you wanted to play Davy Jones. Yes, this is a real nice item too. Love this. This is a 1967 Raybert Productions. All right, and of course we have, real fast, all the trading cards. But we're going to do a separate episode on collecting trading cards. But these are all the original trading cards that were put out. And there were many series of those. And those are always a lot of fun to collect. All right, so we're going to finish off with what I promised to tell. A great sentimental story to me of how I was able to obtain all 4 Monkey signatures on one 8x10. Now, this took 31 years to do. Now, real fast, the first signature, we were talking about Davy Jones before, how he didn't sign the thermos. David was the first one to sign this picture. And that happened on October 11th, 1983, when I attended a taping of a local New Jersey television show called The Uncle Floyd Show. And we actually have a picture of the original ticket that we're showing right now from the day that I attended that. Again, October 11th, 1983. So I knew that Davy was going to be on Uncle Floyd, so he graciously signed it. And the second time, it's odd, because I was going through the years, and I didn't realize this. Every 10 years, I was able to obtain a signature over those 31 years. Now, we said we got Davy in 1983. Now, Peter was the second, and that was in January 1994, while still holding on and preserving this 8x10 for 31 years. So that's why he wrote From Me to Peter Tork, because it was just the two signatures. And then, yes, another 10 years later, from 1994, it was May of 2004, when Mickey Dolenz was in Aida on Broadway, and I was able to meet with him there. And Mickey was the third. Now, we were talking about the elusive Mike Nesmith, and yes, it took another 10 years till March 14th, 2014, for Mike Nesmith to complete the 8x10 of all 4 Monkee signatures on one 8x10 over the course of 31 years. The Playhouse had a lot of time or was totally committed to a project. Oh, well, what's in the CD tray? Oh, well, these are real, of course. It's Casey Kasem presents the Long Distance Dedications. Wonder how many Playhouse members have this in their collections. We'll have to listen to some long distance dedications later on. And now it's time to check the comments bowl. Comments that you leave here, and please subscribe if you're a new viewer of the Playhouse, and comment and like, because that's very important for the Playhouse to grow. And we would appreciate any new viewers that are just joining us for the first time to, again, please subscribe, comment, and like. And if you leave a comment, your comment could wind up in the comments bowl to be read. And here's one picked at random. And this is regarding episode 10. The Beatles paperback writers are in their own right. And member Beatle Babe Jennifer, and that's her name, commented she was happy to see someone else show the paperbacks because she has them in her collection as well. Well, thank you, Beatle Babe Jennifer, for commenting. And if you want to be in the comments bowl and perhaps have your comment read, well, you know what you got to do. Please leave us a comment and it'll wind up in the comments bowl. And for now, the Playhouse is closed. Thanks, Joe Friday.